Eileo guys, and welcome back to another account review. This is coming from Lyuwa. I definitely hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, please excuse me. Please excuse me. But anyways, you did ask for an account review, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So I've already took a look at your mons, the few mons that you did have, not hating on that too much. But it seems like the most part, many of your mons are gemmed up properly in terms of, I guess, their overall usage. I mean, I'm not going to go into explicit detail, but they're gemmed properly. You don't have any mon that is an attacker with like triple recovery, or you don't have a healer that's on triple attack or something crazy like that. But the only thing I did want to point out to you though is that your Tina, she's rocking 2 crit rate gems, and maybe you just threw it up there and forgot about it, but that's a no-no. That's a no-no. One of those gems have to go. That's not good. That's not good. But anyways, let's go over here to Golems and help you pick out some better Golem teams, because you said on Discord that your runtime is usually about 2 minutes in B10, and that is the only Golems that you do, which may be some of your problem. Well, maybe a lot of your problem already. So let's go ahead and first address the Golems issue. Since you are B10 ready though, we're not going to worry about B7 and B9, but I can pick out dragon teams for you, just mons that you can possibly use in the lower tier dragons if you want, and you're free to try whatever you need to try with the upper tier, but it's just recommendations. But for your Golems B8 team, which I highly recommend, unless your B10 team is like a minute clear time, then if you need money and you need money quick, then you should be doing B8. Like, there's no excuse as to why you shouldn't be doing B8, especially for gold, because it's just dirt nasty quick. But you can leave your dark Persephone up in there, and I just messed up. And who else? Okay, dark purse. You could bring Succubus, it's not really necessary. You could bring in Tina, not really necessary. Amayoji. Whoever has quick animations, honestly. Whoever has quick animations. I know you like Water Shiva, but Water Shiva is not going to do any damage here. You could bring Fire Jacket if you want. It doesn't really matter. Any of the Tinas that you have geared up, the main goal of this is just to have mons that have fast animations, just to help clear stuff out. So once you get your purse up to 60, of course, that's going to help a lot. And if you can get these 2 mons, or whatever mon that you feel comfortable having, up to level 60 and just gemmed up properly, like you have them, then you should be good to go. Like, I wouldn't put in anyone that does defense down, because it's going to slow your runtime down. And who else? Yeah, at this point it doesn't really matter. Dark Purse should be perfectly fine. Dark Purse and Tina, Dark Purse and Sarah, it doesn't matter who, they should be pretty much good to go. But you want to aim to have at least a minute clear time, and you should definitely have a minute clear time with a Dark Purse and a wave clear like Sarah or Tina. You should definitely have a minute clear time. If you don't have a minute clear time on B8, then you're doing B8 wrong, and you're hurting yourself in terms of money. Now for your B10 team, I see that you have Light Shiva here, and you can use Light Shiva as a tank, but honestly, if you're rocking this, what does Dark Purse have? Morale Boost and Predator? Let me take her off real quick. Where's she at? Morale Boost and Predator. She does have Morale Boost and Predator. And you do have her on a Ruin set, with, looks like, darn near max crit. Darn near max crit. So she could be a wave clear for you right there. You could definitely bring her in. You can go ahead and bring Fire Jacket in. And I noticed that you don't have any sappers. Golems B10 is still doable without sappers, but it could benefit you. I'm not saying that you have to, but it could benefit you to get 2 sappers in there. It doesn't matter if it's Wet Miho, even though people don't like Wet Miho. But Wet Miho, who else? Wet Miho, Fire Purse, Water Artemis, any of those, just get 2 sappers in there. Flora might come back, who knows. Just at least get 2 sappers in there, and that should be pretty solid for your runtime for B10. You should be having a minute and a half, which will cut out 30 seconds of your time. But those 2 should be perfectly fine as wave clearers. If you don't want to use your Fire Jacket for some reason, you can always throw in Tina. I would just keep Purse there on a Ruin set with that morale boost, because there's no excuse as to why you couldn't. But I would definitely recommend that you get at least 2 sappers in there and see how it goes from there. If you don't like that method, you're feel free to keep what you have going, but that should slice at least 30 seconds off of your runtime. And personally speaking, I don't recommend Water Yuki here, just because Water Yuki's animations are just dirt nasty slow. They're like awfully slow. That's the only reason why I don't recommend her here. Just any sapper that you can get pretty much, and you should be good to go with 2 wave clears and 2 sappers for B10. And next up, let's pick out some dragon teams for you. So let's act like this is one of the water dragons, alright? You can go in the water dragon with, of course, your Miho. You can go in with Odin, your Shiva, and then your Dark Purse. That should be fine for the water dragon. I'm not sure how far this team will work. Maybe it will work all the way up to the highest one. But give it a shot, and that should be perfectly fine for a water team for your dragons. I don't imagine you having too much difficulty, especially with Shiva having Predator and Dark Purse with the wave clearing. For the next dragon, which will be the fire dragon in this case, let's see what we got here. You do have Bow. Water Shiva is not going to really do much damage there. You could bring Indra because he has the attack down, but do you have to? Not necessarily. I do wish that you had at least 1 Mona. At least 1 Mona, that would be blessed. But you could, oh yeah, you do have Light Suck as well. But let me see who I could pick out here for you. If you're going up against a Fire Dragon, then you can always bring in Fire Draka, Dark Tina, whatever wave clear that you want, pretty much. You really need some more Watermons. I mean, you could bring one of these in here. Is it going to be optimal? No, but will it work? Yeah, I would prefer if you did had at least have 1 Watermona. That would be great. But you could go ahead and throw in Purse there. If you want, maybe Sonic, and then a healer if you need it. If you need a healer, then throw a healer in there. But you could also bring in Light Suck just as an SP battery for your wave clears. And that should be an alright team. I'm not saying it's an optimal team. But if you find that you're dying or you're unable to clear it, I do suggest you at least getting 1 Mona to level 60 and booked up. And that should pretty much take care of maybe the lower tier dragons. Like the lower tier fire dragon, you probably, doesn't even matter. You can just nuke that dude because his stats are so low. Even with that team, it doesn't really matter. For the wood dragon, in my opinion, again, Purse can stay there as long as her damage is great. And then you could bring in Fire Draka. What does Shiva have? Stun? Oh, he's a defender type too. He has stun. That's not going to really help here. I would say Fire Indra. His elemental edge will be useless. It won't really benefit you, but he is level 60 already and Evo 2, so there's not much else you need to invest in him with. If you need another fire hard hitter, I wholeheartedly recommend Fire Leo, especially with that buff to his attack recently. 100% recommend that. And that should be okay for the wood dragon. And now for the light slash dark one, which I'll just simplify that very, very easily. For the light slash dark, it really depends on which one that you're running on. But you can bring Shiva in as a tank if you want and have him take all the damage. Just don't bring any other light mons in. Fire Draka, of course, is always useful for wave clearing, but you could switch him out with Dark Tina. You could also bring in your Dark Purse if you want to do wave clearing. And they're not in your slot right now. Well, they're in your box, but they're not out because they're in storage. But now is the time that you need to go ahead and start bringing out your Dark Gatito. You need to bring out your Dark Snow White. Like, these are great nukers that you already have, and you just have them sitting in your box, and they both have square slots on them from what I could see. So there's really no excuse as to why they're level 50 and Evo 3, but not touched at all. Like, what's going on there? What's going on? But definitely bring in at least one wave clearer, and then I would bring in 2 more nukers at the very, very minimum. So you could bring in Dark Tina as a nuker. You could bring in your Purse as a nuker. Definitely bring in Gatito as a nuker, especially if you can get Gatito on a Ruin set, and he did recently get books. Your team should be good to go for dragons. Now, I'm not telling you how high of the dragons that you can go, because it's up to you to gear those mons up and figure out how you can go. But these are just simply templates of what you could use. I repeat, what you could use. I'm not saying you have to use them, but these are just templates of what you could use. So do keep that in mind. And for Colossus as well, I know that tomorrow is Light Colossus, and you do have the mods to do Light Colossus, which is sad because they're just sitting in your box. So let's go back over here and pick out some Light Colossus teams for you. So for Light Colossus, he's really just go in, nuke him, and kill him. Since you do have Dark Gatito and Dark Snow White who aren't currently in your box. What's Dark Marie? Okay, she's like a great value. Dark Purse. You do have Dark Gatito and Dark Snow White, so I'll act like they are both here. We'll just... Who do you have? We'll use Leo and Yuki as Dark Gatito and Dark Snow White. You do have a Dark Bobby as well. So get Dark Bobby in there, get Dark Gatito, get Dark Snow White, and then the other one honestly doesn't really matter. It doesn't, because this team is just going to go in and get nuked. So try and get the most damage out of them as you can. So you could also bring in... I mean, you could bring in Purse, but I don't know if she's going to get her active off before people get killed. But you could bring in Wood Shiva as your first team. Have Bulby apply her exposed weakness. Of course, you have Snow White hit. Or you have Wood Shiva hit, whoever does more damage at that time. Have them hit, and then you can try and see if you can cut it out a little bit and get Gatito's active off. If you can't, not a real big deal. I mean, Gatito's not required, but he would definitely help here. And then once they get nuked, so your Dark Snow White, your Dark Gatito is going to get nuked, your Dark Bulby will get nuked, and your Wood Shiva is going to get nuked. For the second team, you do have a Light Wildfang who has defense down. Feel free to bring her in as well so she can hit the Light Colossus with defense down. And then after that, you could bring in your Tina. Draka may be useful there. He may be useful. Don't quote me on it. But you can bring in them. And who else? You do have like Succubus as well. I mean, she can provide SP to the squad. But any other hard hitter mon that you have, if you're like Yuki can hit hard enough for it, then bring her in. In my opinion, though, I would want someone with Hunter, preferably at least on the first skill. You can bring them in, and then you should be able to bring Light Colossus down. But they need to be level 60, Evo 2 minimum, with not perfect gems, but fairly good gems. And you shouldn't have any issues with Light or Dark Colossus as long as you get those mons raised up and get them gemmed up. So I would say within a couple of weeks, depending on how hard that you play, that Light Colossus and Dark Colossus should be pretty much a breeze for you, because all it is, even Dark Colossus, is just pure nuking. That's it. Like, congratulations, you are done. And let's go back over here real quick though. Alright, let's go over here to storage, where I saw them at. Mankaki, Venus. You do have a Siren as well. You could definitely use her in maybe PvP defense somewhere, or clan versus clan defense. You do have a Mona, you do have a Yaksha, so you can just take Mona out and use her for B10. I mean, not for B10, but use her for B8. Congratulations, you're done. You also have a Light Dart that you could take out. So take out Light Dart, Dark Cupid, Gatito, Bulby, and Snow White. You need all of these nukers raised up. And since you do have Dark Cupid, if you need any healers for dragons at all, just bring your Dark Cupid. Don't worry about the other healers because you don't need them. You have Dark Cupid. Get him to Evo 3 when you can, but you can bring him out and just have him heal the squad if you need the heals. If your DPS is good enough, you won't need the heals, but if you need the heals, congratulations, you have him. So get these mons out, raise them all up to 60, and try to get them at least on an intuition set minimum. Ruin would be best, but if intuition is all that you can do right now, that's better than nothing. That's absolutely better than nothing. So there is a lot of potential in your account to do some good damage, especially in Colossus and Dragons. You shouldn't have any problems in the future, hopefully after this video, of doing that. In terms of Titans, if you do have an interest in Titans, you don't really have the mons for Fire Titan right now. Well, Wood Titan right now, you only have Verde, but that's okay. You have Water Siegfried, Water Barona, and Water Indra, which you can make a decent Titans team with that. Then you have your Wood Garuda and then your Wood Merlin. Not optimal, but it does work, and I think that's pretty much it. But for Titans, you definitely need some more healers. I would definitely recommend some Fire Keepers and stuff like that. There are guides already out there for Titans, but currently I would just focus on whatever that you deem more important. If you need more help with that, feel free to talk about it in the Discord, or check out maybe Nestia's guide or someone else's guide, because I'm not a Titans pro. I'm just pretty much like casual Eileo now. But in terms of PvP, you do have the Mons, especially for PvP as well, if you're interested in that aspect of it. Dark Siren is an interesting one. You can, of course, run Dark Purse. I wouldn't really use Dark Marie because you already have Dark Purse, and she's just a great value of Purse. Even though she can heal, Purse should do more damage than her. Dark Mio is always interesting. Dark Tina is always interesting. Light Succubus, especially on the right team, is great. Light Yuki. Light Leo is really good too. Light Leo is really good with his morale boost and stun. Really good mon to have, especially in terms of attack. Like him and Light Leo. I mean, Light Leo and Light Yuki go together like freaking spaghetti and ketchup, man. Wild Fang would be interesting as well. Light Shiva is a little bit better than what he was before with the patch now. Then Light Valk's getting that change, and you have her at Evo 3. Oh yeah, she already got the change. And you do have her at Evo 3. You do have some gems on her. Maybe not max resist, but you're aiming for it. You're aiming for it. And Nightmare 2 can also be very, very annoying. And you do have a Water Shiva that you're working on. So he's very, very annoying as well. Of course, Fire Draka. Fire Indra does have his uses as well. So could your Fire Shiva. But again, I'm not a PvP expert, so if you want to go into more of a PvP route, feel free to leave a comment below in the video. I know Hayden is very, very good with that, or you know where to find me. You know where to find me. But that's pretty much it for this account review. Lyuwa, I definitely hope this video helps. You have a lot of positioning in your account. There's just a couple of things that you need to twerk with. There's just a couple of things that you need to tweak, not twerk. There's a couple things that you need to tweak, and you should be well on your way. Like, I don't expect any more than a couple of weeks before you're taking down Colossus. Definitely focus on getting your B8 team down though. If your time's not a minute yet, I would drop B10 right now. Focus on getting your B8 team down to a minute minimum. Farm out B8 for some more money. Gem up your mons for B10. Hopefully pick up another sapper. Hopefully pick up a sapper or two during that time, and you should be pretty much set. But I definitely hope this review helps. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.